Hi, welcome to Chef Tips UK with me, Chef Ricky. I know it's been ages, guys. The missus, who's also the cameraman, she sprained her wrist picking up some coke, so she's been an absolute nightmare. I ain't been able to do any recording because she's just been absolutely useless, to be completely honest with you guys. So I apologise on her behalf. I'm still waiting for a formal letter of apology from her myself, but today we are doing deep fried ice cream. Ice cream, deep fried. I know, how the hell does that work? So, we're going to start now. Also, if you're brand new here, you like what you're seeing here, hit that subscribe button, folks. Really helps us out. So, we're going to start off ice cream. Right, I've just brought some ice cream. As you can see, I've sampled it and it's pretty nice. If you've got a good ice cream machine and stuff, you can make your own. I've been messing around with some recipes, trying to get a good recipe without using an ice cream machine, but as it stands, I've not got very far with that. If you guys know any, drop them down and let me know. So I've got some boiling water in here. I've just got a plain bog standard ice cream scoop into boiling water, and it's always going to get you them lovely ice cream balls. That's really essential for this. You really want a nice ball of ice cream. So all you're doing is just scooping it, getting it back in the hot water, and then boom. All we're going to do I'll just put it on a little tray with some grease proof, and then back in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Now, the main thing with deep fried ice cream is you've got to keep putting it back in the freezer. This is going to help really firm the ice cream up, because if it's too soft, it's just going to explode in your fryer, and no one wants that, not at all. So, in there, I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes just to firm up a bit more, because it's just had boiling hot water go around it. And then I'll see you guys in 10, and I'll show you how we're doing deep fried ice cream. Right, so our ice cream's been in the freezer now for nearly 10 minutes, so I'm going to get on to the next stage, which is setting up a panne mix. So panne is basically what it's called to sort of breadcrumb something, coat it. So all I've got here is a bowl of flour. I've not measured it out, I've just chucked some flour in a bowl. I've only got 2 scoops. I've got a bowl of some ready-made breadcrumbs here. I've just been to the shop and brought some. Obviously if you want to make your own you can. I just think these nice golden breadcrumbs, they really go really nice with it. So and I've got just 2 eggs here. I'm not really measuring it out. And the idea is flour, egg mix, breadcrumbs. So all I'm going to do is just give these eggs a little whisk, and then just chuck some milk in there. Like, it don't need to be measured out really. Obviously if you're going to do 20 bowls of ice cream, use more than I am, so just gauge it. What I will say is we are going to panne them quite a few times. So normally if you're doing sort of like chicken mini fillets or something along the lines of that, you'll probably panne something about twice. But because we're doing ice cream, we're going to panne it maybe 4 to 5 times. I've not quite decided yet. I just want to see how it looks, maybe after 4, and then I might do 5. Who knows? So I've got my panne mix ready. So it's just flour, egg mix, egg wash, whatever you call it, and then breadcrumbs. Right, so this is a bit where you need to work quite quick. So when you panne in, you tend to use a dry hand and a wet hand. So this is going to be my wet hand. You're just going to take the ice cream into the flour, dry hand, coat it as well as you can with the flour, and then into the egg wash, and then wet hand again, and then into the breadcrumbs, dry hand. And I did it right because I finished on this hand being my dry hand. So once that's there, we're going to drop that back on the tray. Wet hand for the ice cream again, into the flour. And you have to kind of work really quickly with this. This is why I'm not really sort of looking at the camera as much. Because obviously when you leave ice cream out, it melts. So that's why it's really important to just work as quick as you can with this. So that's 2 there. got some water in there. I'm just going to give my hands a quick swill off, and then we're going to get them back in the freezer. Right, so once they're back in the freezer, as you can see, we've still got quite a bit of mix left. That's fine. And we're going to leave them for another 10 minutes. So the idea is we pan it, we get it back in the freezer, firming up, pan it, back in the freezer to firm it up, pan it, back in the freezer to firm it up. You get the gist. And this is to ensure that when you put it in the hot oil of the fryer, it doesn't explode. And the idea is we still want the ice cream to be cold and frozen on the inside. So by paneing it multiple times, we're building up a wall of pane, if you will. So in turn, we're just gonna crisp up the breadcrumbs, and then the ice cream, it will melt a bit, but we've still got that frozen element to it. Hence the deep fried ice cream. So see you in 10. Right, so I've just got these out of the freezer. They're coming on quite nicely. So once again, into the pane, into the egg, or into the flour, roll around in them breadcrumbs. Again, keeping the whole dry hand or wet hand, although you'll pick the ice cream up with your dry hand now rather than your wet hand, because the breadcrumbs will give it a dry coating in there. It's a little bit easier to do now. It's you don't have to be as rushing. Obviously still working, you don't want to be leaving them out too long. But that's the second coat. So what I'm going to do is probably coat these a couple of times. You've seen how to do it now. You don't really need to see me do it all the time. So I'll coat these probably 4 to 5 times, and then we'll get the fryer on. Right, so my ice cream is in the freezer. I've paneed it 5 times. I said I thought it might be between 4 and 5. I went for the 5. I'm going to get it out in a minute. In the meantime, I've had my fryer, plugged it in, I've cracked it up to 190. We want to cook these high, we want to cook them fast. They don't want 30 seconds in the fryer, that's all we want them in there for. So, I'm going to get my deep fried ice cream out, and as you can see now, they look massive. So, all we're going to do with these is we're just going to drop them into the fryer. I might do 2 separate baskets. Into the fryer, and hopefully they don't explode. And we're going to cook these for about 30 seconds. Right, so they've been in for about 30 seconds. Look at them. Nice golden little balls, look like camel's balls. Get a zoom up on them, come on. Get a zoom up, don't be scared, don't be scared, don't be scared. You gotta zoom up. And then we're just gonna cut that in half. And then look at that. Deep fried ice cream. Still more or less frozen on the inside. So that, folks, is how you do deep fried ice cream. If you enjoyed that, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, you know the one. Show it to your mum, show it to your dad, show it to your nan, show it to everyone. Until next time, folks, keep on chefing.